So first off, I just wanted to say that I really liked what you said about reading being important to helping you become a well-rounded person. I think that applies to everybody, not just kids, and I would like to go more into that when I talk about um, science fiction. But in order to stay in line with our theme that we seem to have going here for right now, this is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which is the one that you said was sweeping the nation. And I obviously you and I both really love John Green, watching him and reading him and talking about him, and yeah, it is about this girl who has she had thyroid cancer. So they thought she was going to die when she was like 12, but she got this on this medication that basically shrank the tumors, and so she could live for a very long time. So she goes to this support group once a week with other kids who have had to deal with cancer, and she meets this boy who is, very attractive and very intelligent and very into metaphor. And so they end up it becomes a love story. It sort of defied a lot of sick person slash romance story stereotypes. It wasn't all like Nicholas Sparksy, and there were a lot of really good quotes that made me think about things. Like there's this one where this boy, he was going to be blind, and he said, she promised me forever. And even though to us, reading about 17-year-olds, you and I roll our eyes and go like, obviously a 17-year-old doesn't know what they're promising when they promise forever. And the girl he's talking to at the time about this actually says the same thing. Like, people promise things, but they don't always know what they're promising. And he said, yeah, of course, but isn't that what true love is? Not knowing what you promised when you promised it, but keeping the promise anyway. I'm not sure if I think that's true or not, but that is, it's an interesting thing to think about. And there were lots of things in the book like that. Those are the good things. Really, really touching story, witty, intelligent characters, occasionally really beautiful writing, and lots of things to think about that make you go like, yeah. Like when he says pain demands to be felt. That was another thing that I really liked. Because, pain does demand to be felt. And I think there's something to be said for feeling pain and allowing yourself to feel pain instead of trying to close yourself off to it. Things that I did not like so much. I felt sometimes like I was not reading about real people. And obviously I know I'm not actually reading about real people, but I sort of like my characters to feel like someone I could meet on the street. And at times these characters didn't really do that because they're supposed to be teenagers and they didn't seem like realistic teenagers. I'm not saying that teenagers can't be smart and well-spoken, but in previously, all of his teenage characters have been very intelligent. I felt like I was reading about, really smart, witty teenagers that still talked like teenagers, and these kids quote poetry at each other as a means of conversation, and sometimes I just was kind of like, this isn't, no one really does this. Also, I feel like everybody is a flawed human being. Everyone has things about them that are unlikable, and I felt like these characters, and particularly this boy, didn't have any real unlikable traits. And I liked that there were literary points in this book. I also kind of felt like I was being hit over the head with them at times. I love when stories are more than what they appear to be on the surface, which I think all good stories are. The best way that's ever done is when it's subtly done. It's not in your face, look at my symbolism, do you see it? Do you understand it? That kind of annoyed me a little bit. Even though I feel like he was trying to defy all of these cancer romance stereotypes, at sometimes he still sort of fell back into that. I guess I kind of understand that some of that has to be there, but sometimes it was a little bit too much. Anyway, point being, I still think it was an excellent book. It made me cry, it made me laugh. I definitely would recommend this book. I would love to hear what you think, and you should get back at me soon. Alright, bye-bye.